Hey Robin, my name is Jess Arambula. I'm here with Salesforce. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I just want to thank you for taking the time. I know you have a really tight schedule, and so just thank you for taking the time out of your day to meet with me to discuss a little bit about Salesforce. Um, I saw that you went to Union College and also got your MBA from Fordham University. Can you want to tell me a little bit about like your experiences at those schools?
Yeah, it was a great time. If I had to redo it 1,000 times, I'd pick those schools once again. A lot of the, education and knowledge that I gained from those schools, I think, have to do a lot with the success that I've had in this industry and this field. And, not to compare, but in comparison to the colleagues throughout the industry, I feel like I have an elevated sense of preparation, and I credit that to those schools. A lot of the people I met at those schools are still friends I have today. So, I wouldn't change it for the world, and had a great time at both of them.
That's awesome. I love hearing stuff about other people's schools and different experiences that they've had throughout their career. I can contribute or attribute a lot of things I've done throughout my career to my time at Clemson, just as you with Union and Fordham, because I feel like it's really like developed me into the person I am today, and especially as a young adult, I was able to really like get that grasp of like the business world and also just like become more of who I am today as a person too. So just love hearing about that kind of stuff. I think it's super great.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's awesome.
so I saw that you're also a really big advocate for women pushing into higher up roles, especially in the business world. What kind of got you interested in that and like started to made you want to encourage that with other people in the business world?
Yeah, I think it's very important to have, women not only in the workplace but also in leadership roles. And, considering my position as a leader within Otis, I've found that my influence and being able to make other women that are entering the workforce feel comfortable by my presence and seeing other women in these leadership positions. I found that it helps productivity and gives other perspectives on issues that, say a group of 20 or 30 men may not think of things that a few women might think of. So, I think that different perspective and also just having a very comfortable workplace and having the different ideals meshed together is something that's allowed me to be successful and, Otis to continue that success that they had already had.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think with especially with the changing landscape of everything, everything's constantly changing, especially within business and whatever industry that you may be a part of, there's always going to be change. So you got to be willing to adapt to it. And I think it's been a super impactful change that's really come about the last, couple years because you didn't really used to see that often before, and now it's becoming a lot more of a big thing.
Mhm.
And what you with in your role being the VP of sales and marketing is super impressive. And I mean, I can, I give my respects to you for all the stuff that you've done.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
Um, but yeah, so I know you squeezed me in between a couple meetings. So I don't want to take too much of your time. Is it okay if I ask you a couple questions, about your current CRM and your experiences, to get a little bit of information about it?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Let's get rolling.
Awesome. So what would you say are some of your biggest letdowns with your current CRM provider?
So right now we currently use HubSpot. The biggest thing that's been giving us issues, we have a lot of glitches, and with a system that we need to have readily available 24/7, that's given us a lot of issues. It's kind of slowed down the sales process, which is frustrating. And whenever issues arise and we want to get them fixed, there's not great customer service, which is frustrating. So it's like, we're presented with an issue and we're not given a solution. And we're kind of just left out to dry to figure it out or just hope it changes. So, that's been really frustrating for obvious issues and delaying the sales process and communicating with clients and closing deals.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can totally understand that and your frustrations with that because especially with how much we all use technology, in today's world, we want to have something that is moving smoothly, operating. That way all of the employees, stay in a good spirit, good mood while using it. And it creates the workplace, a lot smoother, a lot more efficient.
Right.
Um, yeah, absolutely. So you want to tell me a little bit about Otis's goals and how like your CRM can kind of help you achieve those goals?
Yeah, so something that we've recently been working on and want to continue working on is we feel like there's a lot of wasted time in the office, and that for clearly that affects productivity of employees, and we feel like that time can just be used elsewhere for more productive things. For example, like finding new leads or continuing the sales process with some clients that we haven't spoken to in a few days. It's just a lot of that time that feels like there's no task being assigned to it. It's been very frustrating, and a CRM system that could help us out and delegating that time to more useful tasks and more productive things would be very ideal.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all really really great to know. And then I just have another question is with your level of technology that you guys have at Otis, is there anything that you have problems with HubSpot specifically or
Yeah, yeah. So specifically considering that I, oversee two departments in marketing and sales, it feels like there's a lack of transparency between the departments. And since COVID, we've kind of been in like a hybrid style of work in the office. So not seeing people every day, kind of there's gaps in those communications, and I'm not necessarily able to see what work they're doing in our current CRM system with HubSpot. And that's something that I would like, not to necessarily micromanage what my employees are doing, but I also like to track their daily tasks and see how they're progressing in their sales processes.
okay. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Yeah. So, um do you think that there's anything else that, you might find important for me to know for this conversation that I might have missed that you find important to bring up?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. I think if we got to discuss further, there's plenty of things that I could come up with. But primarily just having a good quality software and being able to rely on the CRM system and being able to see what my employees are doing throughout the day is really just those top priorities that I have right now.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So what I have written down for you right now, is that you guys are currently using HubSpot. You experience a lot of glitches with that, and you want to have something that's a better customer service. Like it has a better, smoother customer service, and
Right.
also something that can be a lot more smooth for your employees as well. You guys also experience a lot of wasted time and you want to increase your productivity. That's just a goal of Otis as general. That's something that, is seen in a lot of different workplaces. So it's a very common goal, and I think it's a very important goal for all
Mhm.
companies to kind of go for in whatever industry they may be a part of. And then the lack of transparency and not really being able to access that data, and I guess like the miscommunications between the data and not
Mhm.
misinputs, whatever it may be. Um,
Right.
those are all pretty big issues that I think are can be changed and are really valuable to change.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, so with that being said, I can tell you a little bit about Salesforce and what we have to offer for you guys. So our to kind of go off of something that's a lot smoother and has, you know, a better customer experience appeal. Our company, we're actually partnered up with big tech companies like Google, Apple, Microsoft. And
Mhm.
what that allows us to do is that's allowed us to build with clients that have a very big demand and a lot of stress on their servers. That's really pushed our Salesforce team and all of our tech to really be as precise as possible, to be as smooth as possible. And I know Otis is a very big company as well, and you guys have hundreds, if not thousands, of employees that, are reliant on your CRM.
Mhm.
Our experiences with these big tech companies will allow us to, transition smooth, and we can kind of assure you that our Salesforce Enterprise is going to be a smooth CRM system without glitches for you guys, being that, we deal with those big tech companies.
Right.
Another thing with the wasted time, a great thing about Salesforce is that our AI, which is called Einstein AI, is one of the leading AIs for CRM providers. It's super advanced, it can help you organize your schedule. It can help organize calls, take a lot of customer service calls that are a lot more routine that, might be a waste of time for certain employees because it's such basic questions that can be
Mhm.
answered really easily. It takes all that information and it stores it in its cloud, and it's able to deal with those. That way your employees will be better able to focus more on the work that they really need to focus on. They can be out in the field more, going on more sales calls, going to more meetings, or dealing with customers that have more precise
Mhm.
problems that, the AI might not be able to handle. Um, So it really just opens up a lot more time and availability for your employees, which I think would be very valuable to you guys. And then with the lack of transparency, what I can say is that it also goes along with the Einstein AI is how it collects and how Salesforce altogether just collects all the data from each person, whoever puts it in, anybody is able to see that data. So if I were to put in some data about a customer, you'd be able to open up that file just as easily, access all the information, and
Mhm.
it keeps that information forever that way. If one of your salespeople, sorry, goes to a client, 1 year, and then the next year you guys want to follow up with them, that new salesperson that's with them is able to go in, read all the information, read the notes on what happened, and just have everything readily available. And along with the with being readily available, being on the mobile app that we have is also very helpful that way. If you
Mhm.
need to access something super quick, you're able to just do that. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of I see a lot of upside that Salesforce can bring to you guys. So do you kind of see how Salesforce would be a good switch for Otis?
Yeah, I can totally see, all the benefits. Everything that you've said truly does interest me. Just, one glaring issue that, I feel would be really very relevant in switching over is that my employees don't really use the CRM well anyways.
Okay.
So switching kind of just concerns me in general.
Okay. And could you tell me a little bit more about like the switching over and anything else that you could like just kind of dive deeper into about that?
Yeah, yeah. So, for example, like when they're using the CRM and they're inputting data, they sometimes they put in bad data, it's kind of irrelevant and irrelevant data just kind of gets in the way, or they don't update it. So, we may be talking to a customer now, but the most relevant data was, put in 6 weeks ago, which is very frustrating.
Mhm.
So, I kind of just have an issue paying more money for, a CRM platform when we're not even using the cheaper one
Mhm.
to its fullest ability, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So a great thing that Salesforce is able to do is that it can put that data in chronologically. Being able to customize your data layout and everything is also a really big part of Salesforce. It's something that we really push, is that we're able to customize what data wants to be seen. All the filters that you have that you can put in are able to give that information and give you the best information for whatever you may be looking for. Um, and altogether, just like going back to the Einstein AI, it's a really big part of Salesforce is able to help you out if you need to pull something. You can ask that AI, and it'll pull all that really good data that you need right
Mhm.
away, and it can avoid, the bad data that you might not need or some of the old data. And it also switching over, you'll also have employees from Salesforce that'll help you collect data that you need, discard data that you don't need, and do that in a secure way in order to make sure that the good data is there coming with you guys into Salesforce and that bad data, kind of gets knocked out the door. Uh,
Right.
so yeah, with that, would you see how possibly setting up another meeting, to discuss further would be beneficial to you guys?
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing more information. Another concern of mine is I think my employees would be pretty upset if we did switch over, which, it's just a fair concern of mine.
Okay. So why do you think they would be upset?
I think so. Our current contract with HubSpot, we're contracted through 2 years. So,
Mhm.
it was just 2 years ago that they had to learn the CRM system.
Mhm.
And, frankly, that's a pain in the butt. And for
Right.
them to, finally get comfortable with HubSpot and start maybe using it in a, efficient way, just for them to have to change again, I think that would probably spark a lot of frustration.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from with the whole trying to understand a whole new CRM system
Yeah.
that's, completely different from the current one you have. The great thing that we offer is we have free online learning for Salesforce that we're able to provide to you guys whenever you sign the contract with us. That's able to
Mhm.
walk you through each part of Salesforce, teach you how to use Salesforce Enterprise as a whole, teaches you the AI aspect, the customizing aspect, literally anything that you need to know. But we'll also have um, some of our employees there with you guys along the way, easily to contact.
Mhm.
They can be there with you in person, meet with you in order to make that switch over easier. And then also whenever, there might be a distance or a time thing, setting up Zoom calls, setting up phone calls, whatever it may be, to help support you guys and whatever you guys may need is something that we always find ourselves to be doing because we find our customer support very, very valuable to us.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that sounds good.
yeah, so I know that you have some more meetings coming up.
Uh-huh.
I'd love to set up another meeting sometime soon.
Yeah, this month we're really busy. Do you think we could possibly talk in July?
Yeah, so I actually don't think that would be too great. Your current contract with HubSpot is supposed to end in May, and that's whenever you would have to renew for another 2 year long term. So I'd
Mhm.
really hate to push back that conversation another 2 years, and for you guys to miss out on all the possible things that you guys could be doing with Salesforce.
Mhm.
So I'd really love to just, take about like 20 minutes of your time next Tuesday if that's available to set up that new meeting and to give you more information and dive deeper into that with you guys.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, and that sounds good. We can meet next week.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, yeah, thank you so much. I'll make sure to send you over some more information about myself and Salesforce, and I'll make sure to get that meeting exactly scheduled out with you, and we can get that figured out. And I'll see you next Tuesday.
All righty. Awesome. Sounds good. See you then.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.